Okay, guys, welcome back to Heart Academy number 3. And I'm going to do question number 2 from your homework tonight. First thing that we're going to do is set up the fractions vertically like this. And now we must find a common denominator. Remember, you can also use your multiplication chart if you're not sure. Like this. Going under the 4 and the 10. If you notice, the first one we have in common is 20. So we're going to use 20 as the common denominator. And now with the method I use, we're going to divide the denominators. 10 will go into 20 2 times, multiplying it with the numerator. There we go. Same thing with the bottom fractions. 4 will go into 25. Multiply with the numerator. There we go. And remember that we have a subtraction problem here. So now you're going to subtract 8 minus the 5. Remember to only subtract the numerators too. 8 minus 5, 3, and then 3 minus 1, that gives me 2. And you're going to keep the same denominator. Oops. Denominator is 20, which makes this an improper fraction. So it has become top heavy, so now we must make it into a mixed number. How many times will 20 go into 23? 20 will go into 23 one time. And what would be left over is 3, keeping the same denominator. One and 3 over 20. Moving on to number 6. Again, first set up vertically. Common denominator would be, remember, if you're not sure, you can always use your multiplication chart. I'll show you again. So I'm going to be looking under the 2 and the 5. And as you can see, the smallest common denominator would be 10. So we're going to use that. And then we're going to divide the denominators. You can hear a plane in the background. That's pretty cool. Background effect. 5 will go into 10 2 times. Add 2 times 2, 4. 2 will go into 10 5 times. Multiply that with the numerator. 5 times 5, 25. Remembering that this is an addition problem, so we're going to add 4 plus the 25. Add those, you're going to get 29, keeping the same denominator. But as you can see, it is improper fraction, so we're going to change it to a mixed number. We do that by asking ourselves, how many times will the denominator go into the numerator? How many times will 10 go into 29? 10 will go into 29 2 times. You can use your multiplication chart to help you if you like. And what would be left over is 9, keeping the same denominator. This is already reduced to lowest terms, so that will be your final answer. I'm going to do one more, number 10 for you. Here we go. And I like to set them up vertically. So I have 3 over 2 and 7 over 10. Common denominator, if you look at your multiplication chart, so remember, this time we're going to go under the 2 and the 10 column, and you will notice the first one that they have in common is 10. So we will use that as our denominator. 10, 10. And then divide the denominators. 2 will go into 10 5 times. Multiply that answer with the numerator. 3 times 5, 15. Same thing down here at the bottom with the denominators. 10 will go into 10 one time. 7 times 1, 7. Remember that this is an addition problem, so we're going to add those two numerators together, adding the two top numbers together. 15 plus the 7, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Over 10. Again, you have an improper fraction, so we are going to change it to a mixed number by asking ourselves, how many times will 10 go into 22? 10 will go into 22 2 times, because 2 times 10 is 20. That means there's 2 left over, keeping the same bottom number. But if we look, this part of our answer can still be reduced because 2 will go into 10. So I'm going to bring my 2 over and divide the numerator by 2 and the denominator by 2. 2 will go into 2 one time. 2 will go into 10 5, leaving this as our final answer. So if you complete 2 rows of the first page, that would be wonderful. Not including the row that I just did with you. So you have to complete a different row. With another one in addition to that. And the next video I'll show you how to do the back, which is multiplying the mixed numbers. Alright, I will see you guys tomorrow. Good luck. I have faith. Do a little prayer, whatever it is you need to do. Okay guys, welcome back. We're going to call this Heart Academy number 4, which is the back side of your homework. I'm going to start with question number 2. Now the only difference between this page and the front page is that on this page we are adding and subtracting mixed numbers. In order to do this, I like to change mixed numbers into improper fractions first if they do not have the same bottom number. But if you look at our first one, they do have the same bottom number. Notice the denominator, the bottom number is 2. So I don't need to change those over. I'm just going to add what I see. Remember, if the bottom number is the same, I'm going to keep it the same. I'm going to add my 2 top numbers, bringing over the whole numbers, adding them together. Look at that. But how many of us remember what a number is when it's over top of itself, such as 2 over 2? This actually equals 1. So I have a 4 and this 1, and I'm just going to add them together. So my complete answer would be 5. I'm going to do number 6. Number 6 is not going to come out as a whole number, but I want you to be able to see the difference between having the same bottom number in which you're going to end up as a whole number for your answer, or having the same bottom number and you're not going to end up as a whole number for the answer. Here we go. So remember, bottom numbers are the same. I do not have to change, so I'm going to keep the same bottom number. Add the tops, the numerators, add the whole numbers. Looks better like this. Now, your fraction is proper. It's not top heavy, and you still have a whole number. So you are complete. This answer, 4 3/7. Okay, now we're getting to the harder part. Look at number 10. Number 10, bottom numbers are not alike. So I'm going to take these 2 mixed numbers and change them into improper fractions first. Step 1, especially when you have denominators that are not alike. Multiply the whole number and the denominator. 3 times 5, that's 15. And then add it to your numerator. 15, 16, 17, 18. Keeping the same bottom number. Do the same thing with your second fraction. 1 times 2, 2. Add it with the numerator. 2 plus 1, that's 3. Keeping the same bottom number. Now you're at a part that looks familiar to you. So we're going to find our common denominator. Using the multiplication chart, you will realize your common denominator is going to be 10, least common denominator. Let's divide. 5 will go into 10 2 times. Multiply it with your numerator. Same thing with the two bottom fractions. 2 goes into 10 5 times. 5 times 3 is your 15. Please remember, this is a subtraction problem, so we shall subtract. 36 minus 15 is going to give us 36 minus 15, 21. Keeping the same denominator. But if you look, it's top heavy, meaning that it's an improper fraction. So we're now going to change it to a mixed number. How do we do that? We're going to divide, of course. How many times will the denominator go into the numerator? 10 will go into 21. How many times? Basically, I'm asking you this. 10 will go into 21 2 times, because 2 times 10 is 20. If I subtract, I have 1 left over. That 2 is your new whole number. Your remainder is your numerator, and the 10 stays as your denominator. 2 1/10. I'm going to do one more. So let's do, not that. Let's do, oh, too easy, too easy, too easy. I'm going to do number 9. So go back up to the top of your page looking at number 9. So we do not have the same denominator, so I'm going to change these fractions into improper. 2 times 4, 8, plus 1, 9. 1 times 3, 3, plus the 2, 5. Again, keeping the same denominator. If you use your multiplication chart, you will realize that the denominator for 4 and 3 will be 12. Let's divide. 4 goes into 12 3 times. Multiply that with your numerator. 5 times 3, 27. The bottom fractions, 3 goes into 12 4 times. Multiplying with the numerator. 20. Remember that this is a subtraction problem. So subtract your numerators. 27 minus the 20. 7 left over. Keeping the same denominator. You're done. Hope this helps out. Please try at least one row of these problems, not the ones I just did. And I will see you tomorrow.